Back with Market Fatafat, and time now to take you through all the stocks that are buzzing either on the back of technicals or fundamentals. On the technicals, let's welcome Sneha Street of Angel One to get a better sense on which stocks are looking attractive on the charts. Sneha, hi, good afternoon, and thanks so much for your time. Let's start by talking about Sun Pharma, one of the stocks that you've picked out. Now, if I take a look at the move that Sun Pharma has seen over the last 1 year, almost a 12% return. It's improved slightly in the last 6 months, about 14% return. But in the last 1 month or the last 5 days, in fact, it has seen a renewed cheer, 5% return in the last 5 days itself. Sneha, what is your reading on Sun Pharma on the charts?
If you look at the overall chart structure, this counter has been taking support around the 89 EMA on the weekly chart structure. And this week we have seen nearly 3.5% up move in this counter. I believe there is a very strong resistance placed around 1850. And I believe looking at the comeback, what we have seen and the volumes recently, especially last couple of sessions, last 2 sessions, I believe we are heading beyond that 1850 zone even. So for now, if someone wants to go ahead and long, I would say that people stop around 1760 and go long over here. The first target would be around 1840, and once it surpasses that, then possibility is quite high that the stock can head towards 1900 to 1880 zone.
All right, moving on from Sun Pharma to the next counter that is in focus, and that is Titagar. That is in focus. In fact, the stock was trading up of almost 4.5%. It's still holding on to gains of 4%, and it's because it has announced, its Italian associate Titagar Pharma that has completed the sale of its business unit to the Italian government-owned Fabbrica Italia Treni for a net consideration of 66 million euros or 595 crore rupees. On the back of that sale, Titagar is in focus, and that's trading upwards of 4% right now.
Okay, so that's Titagar in focus. Let's shift focus and talk about Alcobev stocks. They are the talk of the hour right now. Names like UBL, USL, Radico Khaitan, Allied Blenders. All of these names are doing phenomenally well in trade right now, and that's on the back of this recent announcement not very long ago that we've heard from the Karnataka budget coming in, where Karnataka budget says that liquor prices in the state will no longer be fixed by the government. The deregulation is a positive. Remember, Karnataka makes up it's in fact one of the biggest Alcobev markets in the country. About 15% of Indian-made foreign liquor is consumed in Karnataka, or is produced in Karnataka rather. So that is a very big role that Karnataka plays when it comes to the Alcobev space. It's positive for players like United Spirits, Radico, Allied Blenders, United Breweries. And in fact, based on the report, Nirmal Bang Institutional Equities also says that so far, the state budgets and excise policies reported in FY27 are broadly constructive for the Alcobev company. So on the back of all of these factors, and most importantly, the Karnataka budget and the deregulation announcement being supportive for Alcobev companies, and the measures that they've announced to boost Alco beer tourism in the state have all acted very positively for all of these stocks, and you can see the kind of gains that some of these names are seeing.
All right, on the back of that, all the Alcobev stocks are in focus. But let's move on to the next counter that Sneha you have picked out for us. You picked out SBI Life for us. Tell us what are the levels to watch out for in SBI Life.
Here, if you look at the chart structure for this counter, we have seen this counter, correcting towards the very strong support zone around 200 is simple moving average. And from there itself, we are seeing some buying interest, some short covering bounce coming in. I believe looking at the overall chart structure and the kind of recovery what we are seeing from the support zone, I think this counter is looking poised for a short covering move at least towards 2040, 45 level is what I'm watching for this counter. If someone wants to go ahead and long, keep a stop around 1920 and go long over here for the target of 2040 for now.
All right, moving on then to the next counter that is in focus. That is Shilpa Medicure that is in focus now. That stock was trading up. In fact, it was up in a way almost 2% as the company has received a final order from a National Company Law Tribunal, or the NCLT Bengaluru bench, sanctioning the merger of its wholly owned subsidiary Shilpa Therapeutics Private Limited into itself. And on the back of this merger, Shilpa Medicure is in focus. In fact, now it's trading with the upwards of 3.5%.
Okay, so that's Shilpa Medicare, that stock doing very well. Shifting focus, let's talk about an earnings candidate. Fractal analyst Analytics, India's only listed pure-play AI player, came out with its Q3 numbers yesterday. And on a consolidated sequential basis, the revenue has seen an uptick of 7% at 854 crore rupees. The EBIT is also up about 47%, a very healthy jump over here to 93 crore rupees. What really stands out is the net profit expansion that we've seen at 103 crore rupees compared to just 34 crore rupees on a quarter-on-quarter basis. It's a 200% jump or a 3x jump. So that looks very good. Other than that, if you take a look at the EBIT margin, also very healthy expansion of roughly 300 points to 10.9% compared to 7.9%. All of these jumps are just on a sequential basis. Works out well for a company like Fractal Analytics. The stock is up more than 5.5% as we speak.
All right, that was the last talk for the day. Thank you so much, Sneha, for joining us. We'll let you go on that note. And with that, it's time to wrap up this edition of Market Fatafat. Sneha, I will take your leave. Thank you so much for tuning in.